I am so cool.
Yeah.
Here we go. All good. We're good.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, I don't want to take too much time. And I wish we could clone ourselves. There's those like AI clones that are going around. I wish I could do that today. But I know I'm going to be catching the replay on this call and I'm going to be making the next couple of days. Um, but first, welcome everybody. And I know this training has been and had the most buzz I've seen from a training that I've seen in a long, long time. Because I'm sure you guys might relate to me on this, but when it comes to thinking about social media, keeping up, growing, and all of that, who here has both the interest, but you're also a little bit overwhelmed as well too sometimes. So you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's so much. There's all these platforms. And then you start posting maybe. And then, you're like, well, how do I go after that? Right? So we have a lot of done for you posts in our systems and everything. But then you think, how do I expand? How do I get outside of just my warm market? And all of us, when we get started in our business, you're going to have X amount of warm market, which is where we start at, right? But after that, those are people that know you. But after that, it's a really important skill set to know how to expand your reach and expand your network. And that's why social media is exciting because once you figure it out and you start to expand the different platforms, you start to realize you can connect with people everywhere that are just like you to serve with their amazing products and their amazing business. But the question is, how do we do that without spending so much time, without bumping our heads and everything? And guys, I wish that I had this training when I first got started. I wish I knew Annika when I first got started because it's going to shave your time of progress and growth by years. No joke. And I've had the opportunity now of seeing many people train on social media. And I've seen Annika do it from main stage. We're just out in Japan together. She was training an entire market. Guys, you have to realize who we have with us today. Annika literally was brought out by Partner Code Japan to bring an entire market that was scared of coming onto social media. They like didn't post at all. And after that, the entire market, I'm still seeing it today, right? Annika, I'm sure you see it as well too from the other leaders.
Yeah.
They're still posting as well too and growing. So you have somebody that is a social media expert, not just in our company, but in the world. She's world renowned. She is incredible what she does. And what I love about Annika is she does it with so much heart and authenticity and so much fun that anybody here can do it as well too. So the other day we were chatting. She's like, you know what? Why don't we do a social media blitz right now and give people the basics and the fundamentals to start going from where you are to where you need to be? Okay. And we're like, let's go. And that's what I love about the leadership of Annika, because she's like, I just want to give and everything. Especially now, and I have to talk about this too. Um, for those of you that are in Australia, you're probably very aware. For those of you that are not in Australia, you're probably not aware. But literally yesterday, there was a horrendous, horrendous situation that happened. We have a little bit of background noise. Hold up real quick.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
All good. Okay. But I have to just talk about this too. Just give a moment of silence because if you haven't kept up, there was a horrendous terrorist attack that happened in Bondi Beach in Australia. I think there was 16 people killed. There's how many people injured? 46 or something like that, Annika. And I was watching this and I was seeing this, and guys, this is horrendous what's happening in the world. I Let's just take a quick moment of silence, if you don't mind, just to really honor all the families and everything. But let's just take a moment of silence here. Okay. And I bring this up because even through that, it reminds me of why it's so important to do what it is that we do. Because it's very real. There's darkness in the world, there's evil in the world. And the best thing to do when times like this happen, of course, pray, send good energy, good thoughts to every single person that was involved. And if you know people that were personally involved, like let us know. We'd love to come alongside and pray with you as well too. But and when that happened, I was like, Annika, it's because right down her street, it's like, how are we going to do this? Do you want to do this? I'd honor that. And she's like, no, we're going to keep on going. the best thing to do in times of darkness is to shine brighter and share good things with the world. And who here agrees that we have amazing message with what it is that we do in this business? So, and that's why it's so much more important to really master these situations as well too, and these skill sets as well. So, with that said, guys, take lots of notes. This is gonna be a 4-day social media blitz. There will be replays available. Get your teams on them. Continue to press in. I also want to give you a mindset thing too. Um, don't worry if you don't catch every single detail the first time. Every day, make this a goal. This would be my tip, and I'll give it back to you, Annika. Take one big thing that you can take action on today and take that action. And then put everything else on your notes and be like, I'm going to take that the next days. The key is to learn and then apply. And learn and apply and understand we're about to get like, I don't know, like a decade of experience into 4 days. So you're going to get as much as you can. But whenever you feel oh man, this is so much. I'm so overwhelmed. If you feel that way at all, here's a commitment that I hope we can make to each other. Okay. And type this in the chat if you're with me. I don't do overwhelm. Can you guys type that in the chat with us? I don't do overwhelm. All right. So resist the urge. Just be like, I'm filing that in for later. I got what I need right now, and I don't do overwhelm. You don't have to feel overwhelmed. The key is you take what you can get right now and then take the next step forward. And then eventually over time, you'll be where someone like an Annika Bell is as well too. So I'm here taking lots of notes. Annika, thank you for your leadership and collaboration contribution. And I'll toss it over to you.
Thanks, James. You give an incredible intro as well as you have an incredible heart when it comes to this business. Can you guys all hear me okay? Okay, great. It was I feel a bit out of it today because we have been watching some horrific things when it's come to what's going on in Australia. We just don't, and I know that there's a lot of countries that's used to or they've seen things like that. We just haven't. So, to see it on that spectrum, like the last time we saw anything like that was back in Tasmania, where we had a mass shooting and we got rid of every single gun in Australia. So we stopped we really improved our gun laws over here. So to see that has been very horrific. But I think James is very right. I think there's lots of times that you want to kind of run and hide away and not keep going because you want to let something else get to you. But at the end of the day, we can't let those sort of things affect us and we have to keep going and keep moving forward and always let the light win, right? So let's get into this and reiterating on social media for you all. If you feel like, oh, that's gone too quick, guys, it's okay. I'm going to give you all of um, my PDF afterwards as soon as I've finished with this. So you'll be able to have that so that you can then be able to. I'm just going to make my spotlight myself. Um, you'll be able to look back on it. So I'm a big believer in showing everybody like with pictures and they've got circles around them. So what I want to do today is a lot of you have your Facebook or your Instagram, and I want to go through TikTok and what these platforms mean for you. But one thing is your settings. So if your settings aren't right, and there's so many people that are doing so well on and I watch their videos. I'm like, why isn't this working? Why like they you should be by you've got engagement, you're growing your audience. Like, why aren't you getting hits? And then a lot of the times we go back and it's their settings. They don't have it set up to be able to people to even contact them, or they're going to an audience that's just their friends and it's not a global audience, or they're not being able to go viral. So today we're going to go run through your settings. Then we will finish off with content. And then the next 3 days, we will literally push into every single different type of thing like ChatGPT, Reels, and increasing your skill sets when it comes to your social media. Okay. So there'll be lots of different things. So today might be a little bit like, oh, I'm just going through settings, but it matters. Okay. It really does matter. All right. I'm just going to share my screen and let's jump into this. Um, 1 second, guys. Alrighty, ready. Okay, gang. 1 second. bring you over here. Okay, social media blitz with Annika Bell. And guys, if you put it into your comments, if you can't find something. So if you guys can have each day, if we can do this together, if you can have an iPad you can turn up on somebody else's phone, or you have a computer, if you can do that with having your phone in your hands, that way you can run through things together. Like you can get it done there and then and not have to go back to pictures for yourselves. So let's talk about your platforms. We know about Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Let's think about where we go with these platforms. If I was going to Facebook right now, Facebook love a story. They love to be engaging. There is a little bit more of an older market on there. And yes, where they can talk about brandings, but it's more about engagement. It's that connection. So people don't go to Facebook, a lot of people. So to be able to hard sell on Facebook is a little bit tricky. That's why we encourage with stories on Facebook, with engagement on stories. And the fact that we get to go into other groups, like let's say, Colleen, you love traveling and you had travel groups that you love to go to. Like there's Facebook's such a bigger platform because it's about connection. So when we are looking at what platform is best for you, it's okay to choose one platform and get really good at it. But when we're looking at different platforms, Pam, you okay?
Annika, I just want to make sure, were you intentionally sharing your notes or are you sharing something on your screen? Because
Oh,
all we can see is your notes.
okay, yeah.
Just checking. Uh-huh. There's a lot of questions in the chat too about that, so we're good.
Why would it come up with that? That's so funny. Share entire screen. That's hilarious. Can you see me now? Or can you still see?
Yes, now we do. Thanks.
Thanks, Pam.
Very
Zoom's
good.
never done that to me before. So we're going through our social media blitz. Well, where we were up to is our Facebook. So what are the platforms? Facebook's about connection. Instagram is about building a brand. And TikTok is the wild, wild west, baby. So if you are interested in being a little bit more robust and doing those really hard sells, TikTok is a great platform. If you are brave and you don't mind going live and you're really concentrated about doing those hard sells, TikTok can be an absolute playground for you. Instagram is very much about building a brand. So again, because you have the differences, if you go to Facebook right now and you scroll down your Facebook feed, you'll be seeing that this is called a feed, right? And you guys, by all means, go onto your Facebooks right now and you can go through it yourselves. Like, I don't mind if your screens turn off and you're on your phone, if you are on your phone. If I went to my Facebook right now, if I scroll down, it's called a feed. I have to go through and through and through. But if I went through to Instagram, I'm heading over to my Instagram. This is called a grid. And what I can do is I can literally have all of my posts here. But Instagram, we have to do a flick through. Sorry, at Facebook, we have to flick through. So if we're looking at which platform are we going to be able to sell to, Instagram and TikTok are hard sells, but Facebook is very much about telling the story because you're only going on that feed. So if you are asking yourselves today and give yourselves an audit, scroll down your Facebook right now, and especially Facebook because it's got that like long feed that's happening. Are you all about the sale? Are you all about the sale? Because if you were scrolling through and people had to scroll every single post and it was buy my drops, buy my product, buy my drops, join my business. Facebook people do not turn up to Facebook to be sold to. They turn up for a connection. Instagram, absolutely. TikTok, go for it. Be as direct as you like. But Facebook is a completely different beast. I love Facebook because I love to tell a story. I want to connect with more people. I love finding new people because I join more groups and I ask for more friend requests. And then I get rid of other people and I live my life in Messenger. So Facebook is a great platform, but you must understand the beast of it. If you are hard selling every day on this platform, you will not engage. So people say to me, "Why am I selling?" I'm saying because you are missing. You are actually missing from the platform itself. People want to know, like, and trust you. And can they see that down that page, or are you just hard selling to them every single day? So let's set up your shop front. Facebook's shop front is your banner. Do we have a banner done for ourselves? And when I say shop from, your social media, a lot of people, when they first join the business, they say to me, oh, I don't want to go public, or I'm not going to change my banner or my profile picture. My friends, this is your shop front. You're going to be doing your reels. You're going to go viral. People, the first thing that they're going to do to you, Karen and Colleen, is they're going to stalk you. The moment somebody says or meets you, even if you're doing belly to belly, like you're out meeting somebody, and you said, hey, let's connect on Facebook or Instagram, whatever you're doing, the first thing they're going to do is stalk you. Are you credible? Is this your shop front? Are you treating this as a business? And the ways to really set yourselves up for success is have a beautiful banner for yourself. And if you need help with a banner, I'm happy to put a template in our chats for anybody to be able to use. But having a beautiful banner up, being able to have a picture of yourself, not your dog, not your cat, not your kids, you. You are the Me Inc. to your businesses. So putting a beautiful banner, your profile picture, as well as your bio. Being able to have a bio for yourself is super important because you can be able to talk about who you are. The other one is our pinned post over here, which we're going to run through on how to do a pinned post. So if anybody's writing this down with it, we're going to go through the system of where to pin this and where to find this and how to do this, okay? So if you're writing it down of going, these are the 4 things I'm going to make sure that is set up for my business today: a banner, a pinned post, what are highlights, and how do I get my bio working? There are your 4 things. By the end of today, you're going to be having set up for yourself. So highlights we're going to run through, guys, which is super easy once you figure out how to set them up for yourselves. And highlights are really great because it means what are people going to do? They're going to stalk you. And then running through our bio of why are people on our page. I highlighted Kirsten Carossi because she's not mucking around. When people come to her page, they know exactly why they're there. She does not let up or let people not be confused. The only time that people probably don't buy from you is because your message is a little bit too confusing. If we look at banners, we've got Danielle's got her banner, Saru's got her banner. I've marketed my own banner. But one thing that I love to do is I take a screenshot and I send it to chat. So what I did is I took a picture of my actual screenshot here of my banner and I sent it to chat with my bio and I asked ChatGPT to give me some feedback. And he actually gave me some great feedback. And the moment that you ever ask Chat to do something for you and for him to give you some feedback, I want you to ask this one afterwards as well. Ask him to be honest afterwards. Say, okay, Chat, thanks for the feedback. Now be honest. And he even goes even deeper with what you want to know. So you don't have to wait for James or Becky or me or anybody to give you feedback. You could potentially take a screenshot of your post, of your bio, of the front of your Instagram, your TikTok, your banners, whatever you want, and ask Chat to give you some feedback. He is an incredible expert on branding. Insane. And you'll even say to him, okay, well, how do I do this better? And he'll actually give you step by step on how to make that even better for yourself. So highlights. Highlights is a great little spot of being able to tell people what they're doing. So the moment they come onto your page, they're going to go, oh, I'm going to hit on a family, or why should I join a team, or her work life. I've got mine up here of what do I do of Taylor, of my team, of my life. And you might all be sitting there going, what are highlights, or how do I even get these going? This is what I want you to all do today. And if you don't know where your highlights are, if we go into your Facebook right now and everybody turn off their cameras, I don't mind at all if you're going straight onto your phone. And you see on the front page of your actual Facebook here, you've got these 3 dots on the side. If we go into those 3 dots, you'll see it'll have here with story archive. I'm just going to bring up my notes for you guys to the chats. All right. Can everybody see when they go into those 3 dots back on their page, on their Facebook, and then they're going to hit on story archive. Can anybody not see it? And when they hit on the story archive, you're going to hit the little settings button and you're going to save to archive. If anybody cannot see this on
Could
their
you
page,
show where it is again, Annika? Sorry.
yeah, I'm gonna plug my phone in for you. Hang on.
I'm going to jump on my laptop. I'm putting my walk off now.
So sometimes when people don't have this actually on their pages, it means that they don't have their story archive on. So when you are posting, does everybody know what stories are? Stories are the at the very top of your Instagram or your Facebook are all the stories of everybody else, which you show your lifestyle. You can hard sell in there. You can do whatever you want. It's like an insight to the day of the life of Angela, right? It's just everything you can do. Like you could put 20 up there every single day. It does not matter. Flood it. But what happens in your stories when you can put them and add them to your highlights, they come from your stories itself. So I'm going to just share my screen with my cable. Oh, don't do that. So, oh my gosh. Does anybody notice that Zoom's completely changed? All right, I'm going to go into my actual post itself. Share entire screen. Okay, so if I went into I'm going to stop the share. Okay. If we go over to Facebook, I'm going to go to my actual page. You guys should all have the same thing. But there's three buttons here. When I click on those three buttons, it will have archive. Can anybody not see that? Or it'll have because I'm on my computer, it will say story archive. So when you are on here, you can go into the settings button on the side and you can make sure this is turned on. Because I've turned mine on, it says turn off story archive. So what this means, gang, is when you have your story archive on, all of this is great because it means that I have all of my old stories that I want. So if I've done this about my collagen here, right? If with our new collagen that's loading, if I click on it, it will be able to have, if I just, I think it's got it on here. If I go back to my presentation. If I come back to my presentation, it will see here my story archive, and it will have down the very beginning, the very bottom right-hand corner, save to highlights. And when I go into my highlights, it will show it down the very bottom over there. So essentially, your stories are becoming your highlights. So if I went back through all of my stories and it won't repost it, it will just add it all into your story set. So you can build on your story sets by your old story sets by then adding them to your highlights. Does anybody not understand that? By all means, take yourself off mute. I really want to make sure that anybody doesn't understand stories. I can't see, I don't have a professional mode. You don't need.
So I do see the stories and I see the gallery, but it says it shows my story archive, but it says it's only visible to me. And I
Yes,
am on professional mode.
yes. So we're going to go through your settings. We're going to set everything to public because a lot of the times when your archives like that, you'll see in your settings, and this is the whole point, gang. Like a lot of you are missing out on so many buttons because you haven't updated your settings to be able to be public for everybody and to be able to save. So we'll keep going through. And remember, gang, I'll give you the actual PDF of this so you can work through it with the buttons as well.
Sorry, Annika, can you just go back to how do I get the highlight? I can see my archives.
Okay, so if I went into my archive here and I clicked on Story Archive, all
Right.
your story archives would come up. But if I clicked on one of the pictures, can you see the bottom right-hand corner? It'll have,
Oh, the right hand. Okay. Thank you.
and then we'll ask you straight away, create new highlight. So you potentially could create a new highlight or you could add it to whatever highlights that you've got already. But being able to set yourself up with highlights is an amazing thing to be people be able to see what you're doing. And the same thing will happen for Instagram as well. Same thing. You'll save to story archive and making sure that these things are turned on for yourselves.
Annika,
Thank you.
mine says that I can get to the story archive, but it says only you can see your story archive. Only me.
Yes, so that's why we need to change your settings. So
Okay.
we can work through that. And this was again, this is the whole point is that when you're trying to add highlights, and unless you put the story out there, your story is only visible to your audience for 24 hours. But if you opened it up, your archives could be visible to everybody for as long as you wanted. All right. All right, so the same thing goes for your Instagram, guys. If you're writing this down, and I said I'll give you this for yourself as well. The same thing, but you must change these settings. If you're using Instagram as well, change them in both, and make sure these toggles that you've got are always on for adding, for your being able to access your stories itself. So pinned post. In your pinned post, and why we do a pinned post for ourselves is it announces to your page again, like I told you about Kirsten's, why are they here? Why are they here? Those three dots at the very top of your post. Can anybody go to any of your posts right now on your feed? Find a post that you really love. And if you go to the three dots on any of your posts, you'll see it will say pin post right at the very top. Anybody not see that?
Since being meta verified, I don't have pin post option.
Oh, I'm meta verified and I have pin post option.
Apparently, some people with being meta verified don't have it. I've asked Chatty about it and I can't get it back. And my pin post got taken away.
Well,
Because
then
I
that
had me in the magazine as my pin post, and as soon as I went meta verified, it just disappeared.
so what I would suggest you do is make sure your highlights and say, why are you here? Or like, what do I do? Or start here. Like make that as your highlight and
Okay.
put your post that you want in that highlight.
Yep, love that idea. Thank you.
Okay. So pin post, super important. Straight away, lets your audience know why you're here. If you went even Instagram will do the same thing. So if I go onto my grid on Instagram, you guys will see at the very top, even on mine, I've got two videos of my life, which you can pin as well. So again for Instagram, again for Facebook, you can pin things to the very top. Tell your audiences why are they here. I just want to show you, this is what I set up for chat about my bio. So again, you're going to get this infographic for yourself. I'm just going to mute Roxy. It will say here about the headline, personal touch, the body, link, whatever you're doing. On chat, you'll see here, I said, hey, chat, can you please let me know what you think of my banner and bio, please. Give me some examples to do a better bio if you think it needs improving. He gave me the best response. He picked up on that I wasn't doing a call to action. He first gave me a compliment, which was lovely. But he told me, like he even questioned me, which was fabulous. I don't always think like if I'm always looking at myself, I'll always send things to chat. How do I get better? How do I get better? What do you think about this post? How do you think I answered this? How could I get better at this? I use chat on such a big scale.
I'm back, guys. Come on back. Don't go in there.
I'm just going to mute Gwendolyn. But knowing on why we set up our bios, again, we're using our shop fronts as great as we can. So let's go to our settings now. Let's go public. Let's lock friends. Let's lock down tagging and let's go into Instagram. Okay. Slow and steady wins the race here. Anybody that can't find it, I want you to say, I can't find this in the chats and let's just keep chatting about it. Okay. Okay. So first thing up for our account privacy, we want to make sure that this is on public. So when we go to, and the reason why people always say to me, oh, why do we have like seriously, why I don't want to have my things on public. I don't want to see everybody to see what I'm doing. My friends, imagine if you are, and you only want your friends to see. we got to look at our social media as a fishing net. If I was going to cast my fishing net onto a little pond with a couple of goldfish in it, I'm going to have a little business with a couple of little customers. But if I'm going to open up this beautiful business to the world, I want my casting net to be thrown out to the ocean. That is what we have in our hands, the ocean. So if we all head over to our settings for Facebook, let's run through this step by step. Do not know. Okay. So can everybody see on their Facebooks? You can go into your three dots up the top there. Now, you've got profile status, activity log, you've got review, post on tag or profile tag and settings. What I want you guys to head to is profile and tagging settings. Why this matters is, let's say Joanne and I are friends, and Joanne is tagging me in every single one of her posts. Every single one of her posts. And it automatically, this is the default settings of Facebook, is it will automatically allow Joanne to take over my Facebook feed. So let's say Joanne's posting her own life, but she's tagging me constantly in it. It will automatically go onto my feed. So how we stop this is go to those three dots. We go to profile and tagging settings. Profile tagging settings. And we're going to allow others to share your post to their story. So we turn on these toggles. Okay, so we allow, but then the bottom it will say here, review tags that people add to your post before the tags appear on Facebook. It's just down the bottom. Review tags that people add to your post before the tags appear on Facebook. So all this is Florence can still tag me, but I get the choice to add it to my Facebook feed. So imagine your Facebook that you're growing is yours. It's your brand, it's your content. But this way we stop people from taking over our pages. Okay, does everybody understand that? Okay, I'm just going to bring my chat up. Okay, that's what I do, my private bonus products, yes. Okay, great. Hey, Beck, are you in here or are you working? Because everybody keeps trying to keep coming in. Can I make you?
I am here. Do you want to make me an admin, and then I
Yeah,
can accept
yeah.
it?
It keeps locking me out every time everybody keeps trying to come in.
No problem.
All right. So we understand that if we do not lock down our Facebooks, then other people could take it over. The other thing we want to lock down is our friends list. Okay, our friends list, and why this matters is, imagine Ree has 5,000 friends on her Facebook, but I can see all of Ree's friends. But I'm now like a marketer myself, and I can see Ree is, and I'm trying to target other people. It's just for me personally, I always lock down my friends list. Oh, Beck's coming back in. Karen, you got a question?
Yeah. Where in that I've got a thing there, let anyone tag you, so you leave that on as well. So you let people tag you, but then you've still got the other choice of being able to check it before it goes on.
Yes, the one thing that will protect you is that toggle that says review tags. Review
Yes.
tags. Everything else should be open. Everyone should be able to tag you. So imagine if you were being able to, you wanted somebody else to be able to share something with you or tag you in a post that they wanted you to reshare. You don't want to lock that down. So in this privacy settings, this should be you guys should be in here all the time playing around with it regardless. And because obviously this is your settings of what can actually go to your feed and to your audiences. So this is definitely something that you guys want to be looking at all the time. Okay. And the same thing goes for your Instagrams as well. So you can see here, guys, of what I've got on here. I've got allow others to share your posts. There's a picture on here for you guys that you'll be able to see afterwards if this is going too fast or you are losing it on this Zoom. So the other one is, are you a creator or professional mode? And a lot of people sit there and they go, well, is professional better or is creator better? I would absolutely recommend, and this is for Instagram, is that a creator account is better because professional modes, and this even goes for TikTok, it gives you a limit of video of music that you can use. So for us, we are creators, right? You can have a professional mode, but we are definitely creators. Here is a guide on how to set up your Instagram to a creator account. And why this matters is you get this, I know it says professional dashboard, but it's actually a creator account. But the professional dashboard is live. And why I want to say this is live is because it gives you data. So there's a lot of you that have professional modes on uh, like a professional mode on Facebook, but then a lot of you and you get your data that way. But the thing is when you can have your data, you can see what time people post, when they're going to post. And the same thing goes for Instagram. Being able to collect this data is everything because data doesn't lie. I know, Karen, you've lost your Facebook account so many times and she had to rebuild. And each week I'd say to her, are you in the green or in the red? And she'd go, I'm in the green, I'm in the green. And we knew she was growing a business because she was constantly in the green. So each week you can go back and you can see what are your audiences liking? Why do they want to see what they're seeing? There's so much to be had inside of your data. Karen, you have a question. Oh, you muted yourself.
Sorry, Annika, I didn't that was from last time. Sorry.
That's okay, no dramas. Okay, let's keep going. Now, Instagram is another one for us to get to. So once you fiddle around, and please fiddle around with Facebook as much as you can when it comes to your settings and your privacy. Make sure it is always on public. Everyone can see. If there's a message button, click on the message button. Make sure people can message you. After this, I'll go through a screen recording for you guys that I will share and I'll show you my settings so that you can then see which toggles that I've put on as well. But if we head over to Instagram for yourselves, guys, if anybody doesn't have an Instagram account, stay in Facebook and keep playing with your settings. But if you go over to Instagram, you will see it has messages and story replies. So a lot of people will have their Instagram and they're getting great views, but nobody's commenting or nobody's messaging them. If you click on this message and story replies, a lot of the default settings will be closed down. So making sure that you are clicking on all this area, how others can interact with you. If all of that is not open, my friends, people aren't going to be able to contact you. How many people have had people hiding in their spam folder? I've had at one stage over COVID, I had 110 in there that were asking me for like programs for business, whatever. I didn't see it back in COVID days. So if you are setting yourselves up that people can connect with you and not go into a spam folder, you guys will be very much set up for success. The other thing that I love to do with this, guys, is always linking my Instagram to Facebook. And the reason why I say this is because I like Instagram. And if you like Facebook and you like sharing from Facebook to Instagram, by all means, do it. The only reason why I say I like Instagram to Facebook is because I like Instagram settings. I think there's many more buttons to press. I feel like I get a longer time on there. It's just for me, I've played more with Instagram than I have in Facebook settings. So when I'm looking at that, I always try and save myself time. So essentially, what you guys can do is you can share from Instagram to Facebook. Now, this algorithm changed not long ago. I used to be a big believer in not sharing reels over and posting from every different platform. But now, the way that Meta and Instagram and Facebook are talking, it's doing really quite well. So I share my reels and my Facebook stories. Oh, sorry, my stories, not Facebook stories. I share my reels and my stories from Instagram to Facebook. So I'm not double plugging and having to double post on each page. And this again is simply in your settings. I'll give you this PNG for you, this picture. But when you are posting, let's say, Joanne, you are doing a post today or a reel today, just before you're going to post, it will say down the very bottom on the right-hand corner, do you want to share this to Facebook or where is it going to? So you can even turn it on from when you guys are actually posting your reels or your stories or anything like that. So yes, they're in settings, but you can also automatically turn it on. They keep trying to make this as easy for us as possible. So setting ourselves up to make sure we're working smarter and not harder. I know that there may be a few of you that go, oh my gosh, this is like a lot. I've got to go set up and there's a lot of buttons. But I promise you, if you set it up properly, you're going to work smarter, not harder for yourselves. Okay. And we always want to set you up for success. So after this, if you go, I can't find this, I can't find that, put in the chats and we'll keep screenshotting and working through this for you. So when we are setting ourselves up for this success, one big thing is that your audiences always want to know, can they trust you? Do they know what you're talking about? And are you going to be able to support them? And will you bring value to them? So if we're looking at our platforms, Facebook's about storytelling. Instagram is about building a brand and you can hard sell. TikTok, it's the wild, wild west. You can go hard as you like. I know some girls that post 40 times a day on TikTok, right? Like it is crazy. So do not, if you're looking at those platforms, I personally love Facebook because it's a storytelling for me. I like that connection. And if we're looking at our stories, which are the things that are going up the very top, then we know we have a Facebook feed that helps us scroll down. Hence, we are a storyteller and we are engaging all the time in our audiences. Now, if I was looking down my page right now, and if you look down your page, are you being a spammy Tammy or are you using the formula of being able to answer these 4 questions all the time? Because this is your shop front. Am I way too salesy or am I missing the heartbeat? Because people don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to open my Facebook and look what Joanne's going to sell me today. They open their Facebook up and they say, what has Joanne been up to? And you can weave in stories about that. You can weave in, oh, I went to Lady Gaga on the weekend and I thought I'd be so tired in the morning, but I had noni first thing up and my feet were sore and I was completely pain-free in 20 minutes after taking that product. See, I talked about Lady Gaga, but I weaved in my noni. You can weave in your products all the time. I love the subtle art of selling to people without them knowing they're getting sold to. And over the next 3 days, so today is a bit of obviously, you know, groundhog. But if we set ourselves up, we know that we can progress forward because we don't want to waste content. I want you to be able to have your content out and it goes as far as it can, and you know people can connect back with you. So over the next three days after today, we're going 4 days, but after today, we're going to really push into engagement, what that looks like. What does storytelling look like? How do I use my stories correctly? And being able to post with intentions. So we're looking at this first area here. The first question, can they trust you? I want to give you some ideas on how to answer that. So testimonials. And remember, you don't have to use if you're new to the business or you're still building up your customer base, use other people's. We have them all on boards. Can they trust you? Number 2, you get information back fast. If somebody asks, or you could potentially have an ebook or a pamphlet or something for them to have that you've got on hold for them, and you answer them quickly. There is no time than the present. And I guarantee you, if I ever get back to anybody in the 20 minutes of them saying that they're engaged with me, I can close them in that hour. But it's about getting to them. So if you are posting or you're doing a reel, stay close to it, especially if you know that it's going to go off or you know that there's going to have engagement on it. Because let's say you had your own testimonial, stay close to it. And this is a bit of an algorithm hack for you guys. Ask in your comments, ask for questions back. A lot of the times people go, and in Instagram it's okay, but in Facebook or in any type of algorithm place, what happens is, let's say Joanne's commented on my post and I'll go, sent you a DM, hun, or I've sent you the information. How about you start a conversation in the post? Because what does that algorithm do? There's actually like movement going on in here. So essentially, you could like if I said to Joanne, "Hey, I've sent you some information in Messenger, but what are your three main goals?" You know, like you could potentially be asking for communication inside that. And even like, but let's say that's not even a post about your product. Let's say that's a post about me going to Lady Gaga, right? And then somebody said, "Oh, you know, my first concert was AC/DC." And I said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that man is 78 years old. He's a rock star. Do you remember whereabouts the concert was?" You know, so then I'm starting this conversation because regardless whether it is a product post or a lifestyle post, every post is going to help my algorithm. Every single post. So that's why we do that's why I will do a post about my daughter or about my kids. Like I knew that I would post about my son's birthday and I knew that would go off. I knew it because my son's 18. It's a big thing. And I know people care about me. So I knew that post would go off. So in my head, I know that I can start probably promoting about my products or my business because my algorithm will be so good because I've had so many great posts go off because I had things going on in my life. So if we want to create more engagement, we have to bring in the heartbeat that makes us, which is our lifestyle as well. And with can they trust you? You have your own experience. I never sell. I never say to them, this is the latest iPhone, and I would like you to buy my iPhone because it is at a cheap price of $1,000 for today. I would never say that. I would talk about the pain point of my own experience. My phone kept dying every single hour, and I was so over it. So I went to the store, and this guy in the counter gave me the best deal. If you're looking for a deal as well, I tell you what, the place in Rabina is just incredible, and the guy will look after you there. Like like I didn't say I'm selling the phone, even though I'd probably get money for selling it. I told a story about my experience with it. So the same thing goes for Noni, for drops, for your powders, for your nutrition, whatever you're selling. What is the story of your own experience? That way, they will trust you so much more on your profiling, so much more. Saru said about the other week, she doesn't, when somebody says to her, "Can a breastfeeding mum do it?" She'll say, "Oh, there was a lady called Sunuk who was breastfeeding last week. She lost 6 kilos on it, her little baby." And she goes into the story of the actual answer to it. And the same thing goes for your own testimonials. If you are selling any product, what is your own experience of that product? That will sell every day far more than you holding it or you even educating on it. Educate us on your experience on it. That has so much more value. So, do you know what you are talking about? How do I answer this? Product education. Get into some nuts and bolts of, and whenever I read a fact sheet, gang, if I read a fact sheet, I would look at it and I'd go, as soon as my back turns up, like I'll go, "Oh, I know I'm on a sentence." So let's say I was reading about Vinali and I read on the fact sheet about, or I asked chat to give me some ideas about Vinali. And I found out that grapeseed extract is so much more potent than vitamin C. And I held up a vitamin C and I held up Vinali and I was talking about how I think it's like 100 times, maybe somebody else, maybe Beck would know in here, like 10 times stronger, 100 times stronger than vitamin C itself. So it's like it was a crazy ass amount that I couldn't believe, but it made my back turn up because I take vitamin C. Why am I taking vitamin C when I've got the most powerful antioxidant in my shelf with my own business? I should be talking about that. But that's the story, right? I'm doing product education on what I know. Again, pain points. What are the pain points that your products are solving? These is a really great way of credibility of getting out. You know exactly what you're doing. And the last one is interviews. Can you do an interview? Can you pull somebody in, ask them 3 questions? I don't even care if the interview goes for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, who cares? Get on and let somebody else tell their story and you interview them. "Hey, Ree, you went from surviving to thriving. Tell me how much weight that you lost before when you started taking your health seriously." You know, like that's the lead in. Ree answers, what, 64 kilos, Ree?
69.7 now.
69.7 kilos Ree lost when she started taking her health seriously. Bang, I asked Ree one question. I said, these products changed Ree's life and they can change yours too. Bye. Get off the live. It can be that simple, but your interviews very much edify you. So are you going to be able to help them? That's a big question your customers always want to know. Map out, and especially if you don't have customers yet or you're growing your audiences, map out in your reels or your stories what a day looks like for them. Like, give yourself that credibility of like, okay, Joanne's, you're showing them okay, a day in the life of my balance drops or my skinny drops, whatever you guys call them for your markets. Show the drops going under the tongue. Why do they go under the tongue? Show that your drops, again, video yourself at lunchtime. Before you're eating your meal, show your meal, how it's healthy. Go the drops under your tongue. Before your dinner, same thing, show your dinner. You're showing a day of a life of you. And again, remember we talked about highlights? Add that to your highlights. What does a day look like by taking my skinny drops? Put that into your highlights and send people there. Screenshots to edify. So if you've got somebody in your team that has had a big audience before, go and ask them, hey, if you've got any screenshots of your customers saying that they've lost some weight or how they're feeling, there'll be so many team members that would help you. Screenshot, remember, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, social media is a story, my friends. That's it. You're encouraging the story. Your products do exactly what you're saying, that you're just growing your audience for now. So it's okay to lean onto your teams to help you. And follow up. Follow up and invest in the customer's why. I would never close with just saying, here's my link. I would ask them, what are your goals? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to get healthy? What programs have you done in the past? What do you find your biggest blockage whenever you start to do a program like this? How can I help you? What should I do if you ghost me? Like, there can be so many questions that you can ask your customers before they hit that checkout button. All right. Now, I know that there's a lot in those settings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download that PDF for you and I can upload it and you guys can run through it. And I'll also do a screen record of my settings and we'll do them for Facebook and Instagram. I understand Androids are a little bit different in certain ways. I've got a Apple, but if you guys all set yourselves up with your settings, you'll be tickety boo. And then when we keep going over the next 3 days of actually content creation, learning all the buttons, what they all mean, and it's okay to be repetitive about it. Like, it's okay to have repetition because when we keep repeating something, it will stick in far more in our heads of why we need to do this. And once you set yours up, when you bring anybody in or you see somebody having a blockage that can't grow in their audiences, and you're like, I don't understand why they're not growing, because they're doing everything right. Go back to settings. Go back to settings and just check them all with them, walk through them. And I continuously check my settings for this platform of being able to make sure that the audiences can see everything. And we're always doing updates. Like, how many updates do you get from Instagram and Facebook? All the time. You don't think in that update that they don't change all your settings again? So it's a continuous thing. Like, once a month, go check your settings and always checking your data. So let's break it down. Settings, set it all in public. Get loud, get proud. Let's get after it. We need to be able for the world to see us. Otherwise, if we're here to have a little business with a couple of little goldfish in our little pond, that's okay too. But you got to get really good at belly to belly. You better be out there talking to your neighbor, your gardener, your shopping assistants, you name it, wherever you are, because Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, the whole world is on it. It's a 5.2 billion people using platform. It is up to us to be able to connect with it. And Facebook is the daddy of all daddies. So he's still the daddy. I think he's only like 400,000 more than Instagram now. So Instagram's been growing, which is great. But Facebook's still the daddy. And we still use Messenger and we can still connect with so many more people on Facebook because of all the other options and the groups that we can connect to as well. Settings on public. Make sure you have a creator account. Make sure our stories I turned on to save to archive, stories to archive. And that way we can then set up your highlights underneath your Facebook or underneath your Instagram for sending people to it. If I went into Florence's account and she had a reel that went off, and there's so many people that sit there and go, my reel went off, but I didn't close anybody. And we're going to go through this on day 3 for us all. But your marketing is the same as your recruiting. One cannot live without the other. So if Florence had a reel that went off, but she didn't have a banner up, and she didn't show anything about her life, her settings were set to post were only onto friends, but her reels were set to public. But then I can't see what Florence is doing. She doesn't have a bio. So I don't even know what Florence has got me to sell, but I wanted a product, but now I'm looking at her page and I don't really like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to give this stranger $220 because I don't know her. But imagine if Florence's Instagram or TikTok or Facebook was completely set up. She had a banner up, her bio, she had stories, she had all her highlights all done. This is what I do. This is what you get. My skinny drops, results, testimonials, whatever it is on her highlights. Man, they're going to go stalk, 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 stalk. Florence is a real deal person. I'm going to slip into a messenger and I want what she's got. Our marketing on our pages back up our recruiting for customers or brand partners. One cannot live without the other. And when we have a reel that goes off, like Kirsten Carossi sent out 1,400 links. Kirsten did. So you seen that woman that I showed you, and I showed you her banner and her bio. Her reels are going off so much right now that they're like insane. She sent out 1,400 links. And then she said, oh, I'm struggling to close. I said, show me how you're closing. She showed me. And I gave her some ideas, like doing some more voice messages through. And then we have like 3 ways to be able to close. So I said to her, send her an inspirational pic on somebody who had results today. Send a voice recording of, hey, just following up. And then on your last, like, so you don't want to be completely like ridiculous, like you've got seven messages to them, right? Call the elephant out in the room. Hey, Florence, I know I've messaged you 3 times since you commented on my reel. Babe, listen, all I want to know is, should I take you off my list so I don't bother you? Like, call the elephant out. I don't want to bother you, or I can add you to my other list when I have a sale on. Our company doesn't really give sales, but now and again it does, and I'll make sure I add you to that list. All the best though. You know, like, call the elephant out. Hey, should I take you off my list? Like, I don't want to like be bothering you. Like, and make fun of it. Like, give a little winky face. Like, it's you. And a lot of people go, oh, I don't want to like bother people. I asked once and then I didn't. I don't want to follow up again. Man, you should be following up 4 times minimum. 4 times minimum. And at the end of that, call the elephant out. Call him out. So Kirsten was doing this, right? So she started doing it. But then I said to her, where's your marketing? She said, well, I've been too busy answering these messages. I said, but remember, marketing versus recruiting. One cannot live without the other. So they've seen your post and you'll see, and we're going to go through 7-second reels with no voices. You guys are going to learn how to post so brilliantly, and they go viral, which is hilarious. But the thing is she hadn't posted since all the reels went off. So how are people, like, they've seen one, but now you're not in their face anymore, but you're just the chick that keeps messaging them. Go back to your reels. Go back putting that beautiful face online and answering the problems of your products. She was like, damn it, yes, okay. So off she went. But again, like, we can have things happen, but one cannot live without the other. So your marketing backs up any time that you go to ask people to buy your product. They all back each other up. Okay. So we're going to keep running through that, and I'll share my screen. I'll share my PDF with you today with everything that we went through. Has anybody got any questions? I'm not even checking. We see your notes. Is that what we should see? Oh no, that's wrong one.
We have a few in the chat.
Okay, great.
I think Allison asked, is the creator account different than professional? That's for Instagram, I believe. And
yeah, Instagram is a creator account, and I know it's annoying, guys, because it's confusing. So Facebook has a professional account. They call theirs a professional account, or you have just a general account, right? A public account. So that's what Facebook has. So you can see data if you have a professional account, which I would highly recommend for Facebook. Now, Instagram, it's either called professional or creator, but I would highly recommend creator only because you get more functions and you get more songs. What was the next one? Any other questions?
Where do you find whether on Instagram the creator account?
Yep. So in that picture, I'll send it through to you guys, but it will say where to find it as well. So it's on it. It is on the front of your page, but I've got the PNG for it for you. I've got the picture that goes through it step by step.
Excuse me, Annika, would you have your like contact details public on Facebook, like your emails and mobile, etc., all of
I
that?
wouldn't have my phone, but I'd have my email. Absolutely have my email. This won't take long. Like once you guys get through all your settings, it won't take long to keep setting up for yourselves. And then once you know how to do it, you'll be all good to go. How do I make my archive visible to public? Okay, so the ones where you're saying how do I make my archive visible to public, they are in that is in your settings. So when you're going to archive, it will say make my stories be able to be seen by public. Your archive be able to be seen by public. That is all in your store is that is all in your settings for both Instagram and Facebook. So when you are like when you're going through your archive and again, this is just something people just don't know. So they sit there and they say, "Oh, I don't have any stories in my thing." And it's like, well, if you set your archives up that people can see it, then you can have them on there all the time. Most hacks usually come from who can we trust who's following us? What about security? Um, you know, there's Facebook and Instagram. We'll talk about security. Facebook and Instagram have a lot of security now in their own even in built their own public platforms. But I block people. I always check somebody's profile. If somebody's commenting, talking to me, I straight away and you can tell like their language is broken or they go, "Hey sis" or "Hello dear" and stuff like that. And I'll look at their page and like they'll have just sharing content. Nobody's commenting. I don't answer anything. And just reiterating one thing for you guys, don't click on links you do not know. Don't give out your phone number unless you completely know and trust that person. Never click on links you don't know. Like that, they're quick ways of being able, but if you understand like just those fundamentals, if somebody messages you and asks for things or tells you to click a link, go look at their page. And even ask them because I've had people like, let's say Ree texts me and Ree's like, "Hey Annika, can you check this out?" And I'll never open it. I'll go, "Hey Ree, is this really I'll ask Ree a question like about that only Ree would know." I was going, "Oh, how what did you do on the weekend?" And you'll see that if they're a fake account or if somebody has been spammed that's in your accounts, right? There's just simple ways around it. But don't click on links. Do not give your number out to anybody when it comes to those platforms, unless you have been in that conversation and it's a customer that's ready to order and you're like, "Hey, give me a call." Like that's fine. I'm talking about strangers that have just befriended you and asked for that. But I always block people. If people are, they're not a real account, block, 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 block. It's totally fine. And you can even in your settings, when you go to security, it will say hidden words and things like that. It will go against like community standards and it will protect your page. So let's say anybody commented on your stuff that wasn't nice, it automatically filters it out and blocks them and bans them and all this sort of stuff. And that these are all in your settings. Okay, does anybody else have any more questions? Using that in the TT is awesome for onboarding.
Like filtering words, like if someone's I've got sugar daddy and things like that. So if they message me sugar daddy on TikTok, they straight away get blocked.
Yeah, exactly.
Certain words, and that's fantastic.
Yeah. Shana, in your settings as well, it will if you go to friends and you'll say close your friends list. I always close my friends list. I don't want Tom, Dick, and Harry seeing who my friends are that can then go after them or comment inside of my friends list. My friends list I lock down every day of the week. I can't do it on Instagram, but I can do it on Facebook. And again, that's just if you go to your settings and go to friends and it will say lock it down. All right, guys, we are at 11:06. Tomorrow, we went through banners, bios, highlights, pin posts, settings and why, the differences between the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok and why. And day 2 will be marketing versus recruiting. One cannot live without the other. Let's go really through that. Branding and messaging and ChatGPT and how to use that correctly. And then social media formulas and also how to pinch. So they're the 5 things that we'll be going over tomorrow with your Facebooks and your social media and your Instagrams. And then the last day we'll finish off with some TikTok with Saru. Okay. I hope the chat didn't confuse you too much and we went through it very slowly. And I'll put through the chats now, okay? You've got this. You are
Thanks so much, Annika. Thank you so much, Annika.
Thank you, Annika.
Thank you so much, Annika.
so welcome,
Thank
Annika. So
you.
appreciate
That was
you.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Annika.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Annika.
Good night.
That was very helpful. Thank you so much. Love
Good.
you.
Thanks, Annika.
Take
Just
care,
remember, go
everyone.
slow. Go
Okay,
slow.
thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
Annika. That was amazing. Can I come live with you and train?
Come on, honey. Come on over. Come to Sydney.
Coming.
Thanks, guys. Love you guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Love you too.
Thank
Love